Hey everybody, this is Darth here on the NoobCraft Feed the Beast server, and I just wanted to do a real quick update, a real quick video update, and just kind of walk you through some of the changes that I have made. Real quick, let's just go through them. Let's just dive on in, alright? First thing, if you notice over here, I have tree farms going. Got a bunch of them. Got two. And it's going to get really loud. So let me take a step back and turn the sound down. I don't know why music is on. I always turn the music off. Okay, so we have sound. Alright, so I have the my factory reloaded, machine factory reloaded tree farms going. I have two of them, and they consist of a planter, which is right here, a fertilizer, which is right there, and a harvester. Now, you can see it's hooked up to power with a red, what do you call it? Redstone energy conduits. That's what they're called. Okay, so what you do is you put all your saplings down here in the bottom in the planter part, and it plants really fast. And you've got this fertilizer here, which throws fertilizer on all the plants, and it plants in a 3x3 format. So basically, what it's doing is making a mega tree in a sense. Let's turn this back on. So as you can see, it's starting to go. Okay, so I have two of them set up. I've got one over here, and I've got one over here. They're both set up differently. This one's set up just for the harvester to not shear any leaves, so it cuts it down and it gets saplings, apples, and wood. And of course, since we're in the jungle, vines, a buttload of vines. So all the wood goes down here into this deep storage unit. That's how I have it set up. All the saplings go out here. I've got this filter set up to shoot out wood and saplings. So all saplings go out. Saplings go under into this planter and down through here. It goes under here. The other planter is right under there. So it goes into there. Now this one is set up, and if you look at the harvester, it's set up to shear leaves. So as this is producing trees, it just sits there and shears all the leaves off. Is my jetpack on? Let's take a look at this over here. Alright, so this is set up to shoot out leaves, and into this is my deep storage for my oak trees, all the wood. Alright, then all that comes over to, I'm not very good at flying and just got this jetpack off. Alright, there we go. Alright, all that goes over here to the fabricator. And the fabricator is going to make what is called a plant ball, which is 8 leaves in kind of the chest formation in a circle. Okay, so it makes these plant balls, and the timer attached to the filler shoots them out. And it goes to our lovely fermenters. And our fermenters produce the biomass, which goes into this tank. Now, underneath here is where I have, we'll take you down there. Okay, here is where I have my stills setup. I have 9 stills, or 3 for every fermenter. So I have 9 stills, 3 for every fermenter, and they go into this liquid tesseract. Okay. Other thing that I think is pretty interesting about the way that I have everything set up. I know this is probably not as interesting to you as it is to me. This is my first automated machine that I've ever done. So I'm like really proud of it. I'm like, yeah, and it's not my idea. This part over here comes from Noobivore, as far as having the fabricator up, making the plant balls to feed in there. I was running everything on saplings, and I'll tell you why I've switched to plant balls. I ran a test world in Creative, and what I did was I set up 2 of these machines right next to each other, and I ran them through 2 full cycles of fertilizer and saplings. So that's 9 stacks of saplings. In total, 18 stacks of saplings through both of them. And I counted, and there was a 9-to-4 ratio from leaves produced, well, actually, plant balls produced, to saplings produced. So that means there were 9 plant balls made for every 4 saplings. Okay, now why is this important? Well, I'll tell you why this is important. Whenever you put stuff in the fermenter, you will see that 2 plant balls make as much biomass as 1 sapling. So let me say that one more time. 2 plant balls make the same amount of biomass as 1 sapling. Okay, so if this produces a 9-to-4 ratio of 9 plant balls to every 4 saplings, then it makes more sense to create the abundance of plant balls into this system as opposed to the saplings. So for every 2 saplings, it's pretty much what I am doing is getting 2 1/4's worth of what's the word I'm looking for? 2 1/4's worth of biomass. At least a quarter more. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. A quarter more of biomass for my bang here, just because I am running this system on an abundance of plant balls. That's what I'm looking for. All right. Aren't you glad I script these? Might go a little better. Okay. So that's my tree farm setup. So it's set up pretty nice. All right, one more time. And I have this over here. This is kind of redundant, the arboretum, but I tell you what, it just kind of makes for a little extra oomph just in case the saplings don't catch up. Because I mean, look, this one's full, and I can imagine that one under there is full. There's enough saplings running around, so it seems to be at a perfect rhythm where this is running, that's running. Saplings are full. I don't have them popping out anywhere or anything crazy like that. It's keeping the machine going. The downside to this setup is fertilizer. Okay, this sucker runs through fertilizer. It will run through 9 stacks of fertilizer in about 2 to 3 hours. So this is kind of a short-term solution here. This is basically how I'm going to get my big tank full. The other thing that I have right here is a squeezer. Now, this is pretty awesome. Let me take my helmet off. I get apples mostly from this machine. They don't really grow over there because it shears the leaves. It doesn't, they don't decay, it shears them. So before they decay, it takes them. So apples or saplings aren't really produced over here in abundance on this machine. Over here they are. They're filled. It produces about enough to fill both of these every cycle. So it's pretty much self-sustaining. I think there's time will really tell how self-sustaining it is, especially with the negative drawback of it burning through fertilizer so fast, and you've got to have fertilizer ready to go. So I think there's a way that I could also automate fertilizer process, but as for the moment, I'm just happy with what I've got. But anyways, I was talking about the apples. That's right. So I've got the apples set up here in this tank. You put the apples in, and it squeezes them into apple juice. Now, down there, I've got a liquid tesseract which plugs into right here. And I can, at any time, switch this over to apple juice, and it will shoot apple juice through the system. Now, why would somebody want to put apple juice through their fermenters? Well, it increases the production by 50%. It's at least 25 to 50%. It increases for the production of biomass by 25 to 50%. I think it's more like 25%. But for every 1 bucket of water, if you use water, it produces, for every 1 bucket of water, it produces the equivalent of biomass. But if you use apple juice, it produces 1.5 buckets of biomass, which is very, very cool. So look, I've got the apple juice going through my system. Say I want water, and this will, with the apple juice, this will produce more biomass into my tank. And right now I'm just going to run it on water because it burns through the apple juice very, very fast. So this isn't that efficient of a setup here with the apple juice, just how fast it tears through it, but still it's very, very cool. I can fill this tank up, cram a lot of apple juice through, and still get more biomass for the buck. So it's very, very cool. Plus I'm using the apples, which is awesome in and of itself, as I've got something to do with apples. Next thing, let me take you down here, show off kind of my power system. I had a person make a suggestion about whatever you call it, my energy setup here. Now, first thing I want you guys to realize is that I downgraded this to the low pressure steam boiler, and I have it set up a little bit differently. The way I was setting it up before was eating through all the steam before it needed to. So this is almost completely using up the steam. You see it's using up just a very little bit of steam, so it's still producing enough steam to power all these engines. So I have 16 commercial steam engines on here, and I can add 2 more on the top and make it a good old 18. And according to all the research that I did, the 18 commercial steam engines should produce, shouldn't run through the steam, and it should produce enough energy. So this is what I have going on here. This is my main source of power, and it is running, and it should be running pretty well for quite some time. I've got almost 3 million MBs of biofuel, which is about 3,000 buckets, if I'm doing my math right. So that'll run me quite some time. And not only that, this uses about 18 buckets of fuel an hour, and I'm producing about 100 buckets of fuel an hour. So I am producing much more fuel than I am using, and I like that. I like that a whole lot. So this means this tank is going to get full, and I am not going to have to worry about energy. I will one day upgrade this sucker. I've got everything I need for the high pressure boiler, and I may go ahead and do that because I think I've got enough reserves here. The problem with the boilers is it just takes so long to get them up and running. And this is the reason why I switched, is because it takes so long. Let me just turn my TV off. Takes so long to get the high pressure. It takes about 5 in-game hours, and it takes about 700,000 MBs of biofuel, or 700 buckets? Yeah, 700 buckets of biofuel just to heat up. And it's about, I don't know, 70% less fuel for this to get up. It takes about 2.5 hours. I know this sounds weird. It should be 50% right, but it burns through so much fuel heating up. It's actually like you consume 75% more just to heat it up with the high pressure than you do with the low pressure. And I could be wrong, but looking at the math, there's a really cool website that's got all this stuff laid out for you. It's got a really cool calculator. I made the decision to go to the low pressure steam boiler, and if I do upgrade, I'll just tear all these off and put the high pressure on there, or I'll set up the high pressure somewhere else. That way I'm not running out of energy while the high pressure is warming up. I should have enough fuel to last for a long time. I hope. Yeah, here's the creosote oil, which isn't going anywhere. Alright, so I went ahead and just rearranged my my steam engines over here. This is a nice little backup going on. I upgraded it as well. I added some more. But the way I have it set up, there's aqueous accumulator running, feeding all of these in the middle. It may not keep up with all of them, and that's certainly a possibility, and they could explode. But we'll see. Chances of me running this thing are pretty slim. And down here is another backup that I made. This is another little power system that I made, and this is running on combustion engines. I have it set up with aqueous accumulator running up the side, powering 4 engines, and I have an aqueous accumulator for every 4 of them. The reason why is these things are prone to blowing up if there's a problem with the water. Now, I'm still probably playing it risky here with just one aqueous accumulator. But yeah, all I do is just connect it up to the biofuel. The biofuel runs up the middle, so here's the fuel in the combustion engine, as you can see, and then it's got water in there. The other thing that I like about this setup is I can flip the switch on all 4 of them and have them running, and these produce, I believe it's 6 MJs, maybe it's 4 or 5, but they produce a whole lot per tick. So this whole system back here should produce, if I had all of them running, oh yeah, it's 5, right? Because this one should produce 20. This whole system back here should produce 80 MJs a tick, and that's pretty stinking good. These commercial steam engines, there's 16 of them, and they each produce 4 MJs a tick. Far exceeds... no, I'm wrong. this would produce more than this, because this is 4 times 4, which is 72, right? 4 times 4 MJs, which is 16. Okay, wait a second. This is 16 MJs a tick times 4, so that's 72, right? Yeah, okay. And this is 80. So yeah, this one produces more per tick. I do think in the long run this would consume more fuel because there's more fuel running into the engines. This only consumes 18 buckets an hour, and I don't know how much of that will consume. But the good and bad thing about pros and cons, this will consume more fuel, but at the same time will conserve more fuel because I don't have to have it running all the time, and I can just turn it on and off when I need it. So if I don't really need it, or I only need one, I can just turn one on. I don't need to run all 4, and this fuel can go. So I've got some options here. If this one's running and running so well, I don't think I'm going to have any issues at all with it, but you never know. All right, so let's climb up here. I made this hole. This is a tree that I hollowed out and I made. This was supposed to run a power line to my house, but I decided to not go that route. I decided once I fell in love with tesseracts, I decided I didn't need to run any more cables. So I have kind of upgraded up here just a little bit. You're not really seeing any of the upgrades right here. I did add a rolling machine because I was sick of using Noobivores. Yeah, but look at this, badow! I got my ME system, Applied Energistics. This is absolutely awesome. I'm using the crafting terminal instead of just the regular terminal because it's a crafting bench and then it stores everything. See, like here, I want some hummus. There we go. Let's see. Let's try to think of a cool recipe. Alright, so let's just say I want to make a furnace. I don't know why I would want to make a furnace, but yeah, there we go. Just pull it out. Got the furnace. Very cool. Let's say I need some tools. I just pull it out, and look at that. I've got a green sapphire pickaxe. Very cool, right? Yeah. Now this, I can really upgrade this. I can do a whole lot to it. I can even get it to where it's going to automatically produce items for me, which is very, very cool. Store the recipes in there, and all I have to do is press that, and it'll craft items for me. Other thing I want you guys to notice is I have a new storage system here. Alright, so let's talk through how we have this set up. Here is my item tesseract, and it's hooked up to my quarry. So it's running, pours everything into this chest right here, which is attached to this filter and timer. Okay, if I edit this out, me clicking on the timer has caused the server to crash. Let's see if I can do it again. Yep. Very interesting. Alright, so I've got the item tesseract hooked up to my quarry, dumps in this chest, and then I've got the filter right here, and I'm not going to click on that thing or it will crash everything. And that basically just sends a redstone signal every, I think it's like 1 or 2 seconds, and then it shoots items out. So I've got deep storage units for all sorts of just normal stuff where there's just going to be a ton of it, like zirconium, aluminum, the not very good quartz crystal. I don't know why I have iron and copper. Redstone, certainly got redstone, nickelite, cobble. Oh, look at all that cobblestone. That's pretty crazy. Dirt, got a lot of dirt. So it just pours out in here, and then of course I got this crystal chest down here collecting everything else, which isn't important enough to get its own chest. Let's see if I can, yeah, there we go. Alright, so I've got that set up. And of course, I'm sure you guys have noticed me playing around with it. I've got myself a power suit. I've got active camouflage on so you can't see it. But yeah, this is really, really awesome stuff. I've tinkered with it a lot here at the tinker table. I don't like how fast it makes me walk, so I slowed it down and turned off this speed stuff. I have myself pretty light. I've you know, you get in these power suits and you can just add a whole bunch of stuff to it. But the more stuff you add to it, the heavier you get, the more harder it is for you to fly when you do fly. A bunch of other things. It's just kind of crazy. So I have it pretty bare bones. I have jetpack. I have auto feeder. Let's see. Let's hold chef. I got night vision, flight control, solar generator. I don't even have a battery on my head. Just it charges by the sun. You know, I've got a battery on my chest plate. Everything has transparent armor on it. Got a glider up. This is very cool. I've got the kinetic generator on my legs, so as I'm running, it charges. Very, very cool. So yeah, I don't need a battery there. Just charge it up. And down here, this one is dying. I've got the shock absorber, transparent armors, and energy shields. Shock absorber is certainly needed because I fall a lot, and as I fall, yeah, causes damage. Look, as I'm walking around in circles, my suit is charging up. It's just so cool. So yes, I'm going to make a charging station, but I don't think I'm going to mess with it today. Alright, well, I think I have updated you enough. Let's turn the jetpack on. Thank you everyone who added comments on the last video. A lot of your comments kind of helped out a little bit with how I'm setting up this system here. Turn that jetpack off. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. Self-sustaining, and it's just running. Time's really gonna tell how self-sustainable it is, and I've said that like 12 times already. But I think it's set up pretty good, to where it's constantly filling up with saplings. The only thing I really need to worry about is fertilizer and how to get it to constantly fill up with fertilizer. Maybe once I get enough fuel and biomass in the tanks, I'm not going to worry about it at all. Yes. Oh yes. One last thing before I go. Here is where one of my quarries were. I just want to show you this. And down there's where my other one is. This is my water tank. I've got an aqueous accumulator up there in the ceiling, and it's just pumping water here into this multi-tank. And then I have a tesseract there on the bottom. So now, every time I need water for something, instead of having multiple aqueous accumulators, I just need tesseracts, liquid tesseracts, and just put it on the water frequency, and it goes. Yay me! So yeah. Alright, well, thank you guys for checking out this video. Hope you're having a good day. Hope everything is going well in your world. Yeah, please leave comments. Like the videos. It always helps out. Sharing these videos helps out. If you like what you see, share it. Let other people see it. Subscribe to my channel if you would like. It is kind of late where I am right now, so I apologize if I'm tired. I always say I'm not going to record when I'm tired, but here I am doing it right now, recording while I'm tired. Yeah, oh well. So, yeah, alright, well, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you're having a good one, and I will see you later.